Hello, this is episode 8.2. So, last time, where I left off was in, uh, in my age 8. I hadn't turned 8 yet, but just before that, um, my youngest aunt, my Pinny, uh, got married, and I did tell you that that was my the most favorite wedding I ever attended, because I was a thirty pelli kuturu in that, like a bridesmaid, and I was super excited about that. I had so much attention and love, and I was super excited about it. That's why even till today it remains my most favorite wedding that I had ever attended, even more than mine. so so after that, so during the wedding, like right during the wedding, my mom was pregnant, expecting my youngest sister at that time. Of course, at that point of time, they didn't know whether it was a baby boy or baby girl, and she had some false alarms. She thought she went into labor, but actually she did not. But she had some false alarms, so she actually had to leave the wedding, midway, more towards as soon as the main portion of the wedding was done. She had to leave and go home. So I remember that very, very distinctly, where she was sitting, and at what point she made the call of leaving and going home. But the baby didn't arrive that day. But that, because of the discussions that ensued, I was now, I was only 7, but I was acutely aware that the baby is going to arrive very, very soon. So I remember this one incident so vividly. So my brother and I were in the living room, or I was in the living room watching TV or something, and my mom and dad were in the bedroom. They were just relaxing or talking, and suddenly, in our backyard, uh, there was a there was a cat fight. Like two cats were just beginning to fight, and then one of the cat, it actually mewed, um, and it mewed in a weird way, in a different way, in a scary way. It's like meow meow, like that, like not the gentle purr that you usually see in cats. So I ran into the bedroom, and I asked my mother and father, "Has the baby been born? Has the baby been born?" And like I said, I was convinced that it would be a baby girl. Nobody knew whether it was a baby girl or a baby boy, but I would always refer to the baby as a she. So they laughed so much. And after that, whichever relatives came home, my mom would relate this story and they would laugh about it. And that's when my dad explained that the baby is going to be born in a hospital. And so there were a couple of, then my mom went for her final examination or whatever. I think, I'm not sure about this, the hospital was in Vijayanagar colony, across a school called Loyola School. And I think that nursing home was called Sita Nursing Home. I remember the OBGYN's face so well, and I think her name was Sita, or maybe I'm mistaken, but it was something with an S. So so basically, she went for her final examination, and then with the OBGYN. And even that day, I was thinking the baby would be born. And then they came home and they said, no, it's not, the baby is not coming. It's, she went for a test. So this happened, this cat incident, and this other going to the hospital, going to the nursing home a couple of times, and then returning empty-handed. I mean, of course, they were going for examination, but I didn't. I was only 7. I didn't realize that. I thought they were going to have the baby, and they were just returning empty-handed. So I was like disappointed with these multiple false alarms, right? So so on July 22nd, around 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. Was when my youngest sister was born. I was, of course, fast asleep. My dad was in the hospital. I had no idea that they'd even gone to the nursing home. I had no idea. So around 7:45 a.m., 7:30, 7:45 a.m., and this scene plays like so vividly in my mind. Uh, my I even remember the blanket that was wrapped around me. I was sleeping like this, and it was very early in the morning. And my dad woke me up. He said, wake up," and I was not an early bird, so I was not moving and all that. And then my dad finally goes, wake up, your baby sister is born. And then I take out the blanket and they said, "What?" And I saw my dad smiling, and I thought, gosh, these people are joking again. It's one more false alarm. I got so annoyed. I said, "No, I don't believe you." Like, and I and I just wrapped the blanket, and then he goes, "No, really, really, your baby sister is born." And then I opened the blanket and I go, "Really, really?" I was so thrilled because I had been waiting for this day, not just for those days. I had been waiting for this day even before my mother was pregnant. So even before she knew that she was going to have a baby girl, I somehow knew she was going to have a baby girl because I was praying to the God and I wishing for a baby sister all along. So actually, even they didn't know they were going to have a baby girl, or they were not even pregnant. But I somehow was convinced that one day I'll have a baby sister. So I'd been waiting for this for a good, 2 years. So I was very, very thrilled. Then I have to appreciate my father. And now, when I look back as an older person, I realized why he did what he did. But back then, I was just a child. He wanted to get me involved in it from the very beginning, right? Even though I was very much into it. And so he said, "Okay, dress up, and we'll, go to the nursing home to see your baby sister." So before we went to the nursing home, he took me to Abbott's, just him and I. And we went to this store called Dayal's. And this scene is so vivid in my mind, as if it happened yesterday. Not as if it happened yesterday, but it's very, very clear. That scene is very clear in my mind. So this Dayal store, the entrance used to be in a corner, and there used to be like rounded steps leading up, the 4 steps leading up to it, and there was a sign called Dayal's. And we went into the steps, and this I remember so clearly. You had to step down again 4 steps to go into the store. So you went 4 steps down, and the young kids' clothes were always on the second floor, which in India is first floor. So we always had to, and there was a staircase, and we would always go up and shop there. But in the first floor, there was some dress material. Sometimes we would shop there too, to the left. And to the right, there were little baby clothes, so kids' clothes, tiny, tiny kids' clothes, baby clothes. We never went there. So this was the first time we took a right and we went to that. And I was thrilled. I was like, oh, from now on, we'll go to this section also in Dayal's. That section that was unexplored and we never went there. I remember being super excited about it. So we took a right and we went there, and there was the way it was displayed was there was a big like a showcase, like it was a glass case, and the dresses were not piled or hung. The dresses were like displayed almost like jewelry. It was baby clothes. It was super expensive what we bought. But Dayas was an expensive store. It was known to be an expensive store, but very good quality clothes they had. We shopped there for the longest time. And in my 12th episode, like, I'll talk about when we stopped shopping there. So it was, and there were some three or four little tiny baby dresses there, baby dresses. So incidentally, my dad and I both selected the same, because I think I told you my dad's taste was very sophisticated. He used to like pastel colors. My mom used to like primary colors, and for me, she liked more earthy colors like olive green, rust. They used to like those a lot on me. But otherwise, she used to like primary colors. But whenever she selected colors for me, it would be olive green, rust, like a rusty orange. A peach was the only pastel that she really thought was, she would always pick it up for me. She would say, "This looks good on you." But my dad was a pastel color guy, so, and I was as well. So we both our eyes fell on the same outfit, same dress, baby dress. It was pistachio green, and we both my dad and I love pistachio green and peach. And it had like a pistachio green, dress, and it had white smock work here, and most beautiful smock work with a little pistachio green thread work there, and it had puff sleeves, and it had a little bottom to go with it, also pistachio green. So I picked that, and my dad said, "Good pick." Like, we both picked that, and we looked at each other. It was, my dad was a quick decision maker when it comes to shopping, and so am I. I don't take too long, and I was like this since childhood, and my dad was as well. It's just in and out. We don't see 100 things and find out the prices and what is cheaper. Let's go somewhere else and look. We don't. Both of us, like, this is what we like, okay, and then we get it. So we got that. He was a little taken aback when they told the price. I think it was very pricey. I don't remember the price, but it was, I'm guessing it was like 200 rupees or something. He was a little taken aback, which I haven't seen my dad being taken aback normally. So normally, like, money is never no object for him. That's how my dad was. So anyways, we bought the dress, and this is something else that surprised me. I didn't expect it, because I was so thrilled to buy this dress. I was so thrilled to that I bought the first dress that my sister is going to wear, of course, with my dad. But baby was already born. Obviously, she was in some other outfit at that time, but first official dress. I didn't expect anything else, but this was like very great and considerate and sensitive. My dad was a sensitive person, for all his authority and everything, and he was control and leadership qualities. He had a sensitive side to it, a very sensitive, very kind side to him, extremely. So then he said, "Oh, let's go to the upstairs section." Like I told you, the upstairs section was a little bit older meaning not babies, kids section. I was surprised that he took me there. And then over there, he said, select a frock for yourself too. So I was surprised, because it was my sister's day. Like, I didn't even expect. I didn't even expect for him to think about me, and I was not thinking about me too. But that's something that I have to give it to him, that he was that sensitive. He said, and I was saying no, 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 and I would always say no, like that would come naturally to me. But my dad said, no, 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 select a frock. And this also I remember. My in Dayal's, when you go upstairs, the frocks for kids, the dresses used to be on the left on a wall. They used to be hung on a wall, displayed on a wall like that. They would not be in a case, but they'd be on a wall hanging like this. So I selected a very deep pistachio, frilly, gauzy um dress. It was like an organza material. Or did I say pistachio? Not pistachio, deep peach. It was a very deep peach. It was not orange, but it was not a light pastel peach either. It was a very deep peach. So I selected that. So then there used to be a little dressing room there. So he said, "Would you like to wear your dress when you go to see your sister?" Because we could actually change. He would pay for the dress. We could actually change into the new one, and the old one they would pack it and give. This they used to do in shoe stores, dress stores, and they still do actually. So if you wanted to do that, so I went into the dressing room, which was off to the side, and I changed into my new dress. Then we got my sister's dress neatly packaged in like a little box, and then we went to the hospital. I'd been to that nursing home once before from outside. I think somebody showed me. My dad, I think, showed me saying, "This is where your sister is going to be born." My mom used to frequently talk about her doctor, and I think her name was Sita. It was to begin with S. I think it is Sita. She used to often talk about her OBGYN, so I knew her by name. But this is the first time I saw her. So I really admired when she was so much in control coming in, and everybody was like, "Namaste, Dr. Saab, Namaste, Dr. Saab." She used to have like a middle-aged lady. Maybe she was about my mom's age or a little younger. I think she was my mom's age. My mom was around 36, 37 when my sister was born. Um, she was 37 actually. So she was about my mom's age. Her hair used to be tied in a low bun here, low but tight bun. And she would have that white coat, and she had a big bindi, and she was very much in command. So all the nurses were like, "Good morning, ma'am," and all that. Uh, I think that's the first time I felt the desire to grow up and be a doctor. That's the first time. That's the first time I felt that. Until then, I had never thought about that. So she came in, and there was a little cradle. If I remember correctly, I don't know if it was the hospital's nursing home's cradle, or we ourselves took it and installed it there, because we had a cradle at home that we got made for our sister. It was made of there was a welding store, so we got that made for my sister using, I think, either we got something that my brother used refurbished, or we got it built new. I don't remember, but definitely the welding store, my mom designed it, and the welding store had made it. There was a bottom, and then there was a cradle that was painted cream that used to swing. So again, I don't remember whether we took it or the nursing home had its own cradle, but the baby was in a crib kind of thing, crib or cradle kind of thing. Uh, and I bent over, and I've never seen, to this day, I've seen one more baby. That's my cousin Sindura. But Sindura was not born yet until then. But I had never seen, to this day, a baby that beautiful. So she was a very, very beautiful baby. And the other very beautiful baby that I saw was Sindura. And I've been a mother myself. Even my own babies, I didn't find that beautiful when they were born. Sorry, guys. But she was so beautiful. She was like a doll. So I remember, then they let me pick her up. My dad gave it and let me pick her up. And just for a second, then I picked her up and put it. And my dad and my mom were so eager to see my response. And I examined everything. And I noted everything. I recorded everything in my brain. So her forehead was like snow, like very, very light and clear, like snow, all like translucent. And she has like the pinkest of pink cheeks. She had a lot of hair, black hair. I think when I was born, I didn't have much hair at all, but this baby had hair, a lot of hair. Um, and she had large eyes that she had already opened. It was rare for babies. The other babies that I'd seen used to always have their eyes closed. She had opened those, and bright red lips. And what scared me, and I had never seen a baby up close, right? The only thing I didn't like, uh, more because I found it scary, her tongue was maroon. And now I know all babies' tongues are like blood red, they're not eating things and they don't turn like pinky white. Like maroon in color. Like I was like, oh, other than the tongue, I just love this baby, is exquisite. So my dad asked me, because I had this whole thing about, if the baby is a boy, I won't touch it. If the baby is not pretty, I won't touch it. I had all those hang-ups. I was just a kid. Uh, I also had this thing, unfortunately, to say if the baby is not light skin, I won't touch it. I don't know why I had that. It was some concept of beauty. I don't think like that anymore. But mainly it was, if it was a boy, I definitely won't touch it, and if it's not pretty, I won't touch it. Like so silly, as kiddish, right? Like that's how I used to think. So my father asked me, is the baby as pretty as you wanted it? And I remember saying this in Telugu. So I say, like, I wanted pretty, but not, I wanted beautiful. I say, like, I wanted beautiful, but not this beautiful. So she was a very beautiful baby. Um, so my mother was required to stay there for 5 days. She had a normal delivery. I think she had a very hard time during this delivery. But anyways, yeah, but it was a normal delivery. So she was required to stay there for 5 days. Luckily, hospitals in India, they don't kick you out like like here, like in the US. So every day I would go and visit. Somebody would be with her. I'd also be with her. So interestingly, after the baby was born, we were discussing within a few hours. All my relatives came, my uncles came, everybody came. We wanted to finalize the name. My mother was already set on Swati. I tried to squeeze in Nirupama, but she was like, no, I want Swati. Because Swati, my mother thought the child was born on Swati birth star. Then my youngest aunt, my Pinny, so by the time she was married, and her mother-in-law was very good with Hindu dates and calendars and good times and bad days and muhurats and all the Hindu calendar nuances. So I remember distinctly my Pinny came and said to my mom, "Oh Akka, like she is actually not born under Swati star, because the star changed a few hours right after midnight to a star called Vishaka." So she says she's not actually born under Swati Nakshatra, she's born under Vishaka Nakshatra. So I was like, oh, now are they going to name her Vishaka? I didn't really like that name at all. But my mom said, no, I don't care. Like, for me, she is Swati. So we named her. So, like I said, we would go visit her every day. And I made a thrilling discovery. This Muslim family who had moved diagonally opposite our home, their names were Jawdat, Nausheen, and Tariq. The three kids. Remember, I was telling in one of the episode 7s that I was thrilled that they moved. They all used to attend Loyola School, which was literally right across the street, small street, tiny street, where this nursing home was. So it was a very thrilling time for me. That you could just cross the street and this thing. And during lunch break, I had the opportunity to, like, they would come and play with me because this school was a tiny school. It was not a very regulated school like mine, which had big gates and a ground. They would all play on the street. I mean, like, bizarre, but all the school kids. And when the bell rang, they would go away. So that was another incentive for me. So it was mm, very thrilling time for me. All of my um, age 8, is, if I have not said it before, it was amongst all my years, in my childhood, it was my most favorite age. I really enjoyed it. I was on top of the world. Everything was going right for me that year. So my sister was born, and we had new neighbors. I had so many friends. My father was doing exceedingly well at work. So, it was exceptionally good for me. I remember this year, age 8, forever and ever. It was the happiest that I had been through my life during my childhood. Um, so, that's all I have. So I There's no lesson from here as such, but uh, some of the thrilling moments of life you should. Now, back then we didn't have any video recorders or iPhones or anything, but I would it's recorded in my brain, and I'm thankful for it. But I think the only lesson is, in future, if you ever get an opportunity to see something amazing that will only happen once in your lifetime, like a sister being born, or or something like that, a wedding or something like that, that you feel this won't come again, make sure to record those memories, like, because not everybody has a photographic memory like me. So now that you have tools and technology, make sure you record it. Don't hesitate to take time. And people say, when you go on vacations and all, why do you like take so many pictures? Enjoy it. But it's nice to enjoy it at the moment, but also it's nice to preserve memories to reminisce later. That's all I have. We'll continue with episode 8, 8.3 next time. Okay, bye.